handling duplicates and high speed. These are the two top reasons which make the HashSet data structure really important. And trust me, this is asked a lot in your coding interviews as well. So in this video, I'm gonna cover what is actually a HashSet data structure, how do you go about creating one, and what are some of the operations that you can do on it. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So as you all know, there are some basic data structures like arrays, linked lists, stacks, queues, right? You know about them. And all of them have their unique use cases, correct? There are certain scenarios where a stack is helpful. There are certain scenarios where a queue is helpful. But similarly, there are other advanced data structures as well, which can help you to really simplify your problems. HashSet is one of them. But before all of that, we have to start somewhere, right? So let me start off by giving you some kind of an overview. So basically, there are two types of data structure that you must know about. One is a HashSet and one is a hash map. In this particular video, I will just focus on a HashSet. What is a HashSet? How do you add and remove elements? And what are its advantages? In my next video, I will do all the same details about a hash map. And then going forward, I will create a separate video just talking about the concept of hashing. Now, hashing is the actual underlying concept on which both of these HashSets and hash map actually work. Now, take a note of the fact that in order to understand a HashSet and a hash map, you do not need to necessarily understand hashing. It is perfectly alright if you skip it. But it is always a good idea to know how hashing works just in case your interviewer asks you. So trust me, learning a HashSet is very easy. And let us just start diving into it. That will start to make things very easy. To start off things, what is a HashSet? For now, just focus on the word set. In mathematics, a set is defined as some space where you can have some elements, correct? Now, an important property of this set is that it will never have duplicate elements. So let us say I try to add 1, this 1 will be added to my set. If I try to add 2, this 2 will also be added. If I try to add a 3, okay, 3 gets added. Now let us say I try to add a 1 again. Now 1 is already present in this set, right? So this 1 will not get added to my set. Similarly, if I try to add a 2 again, this 2 is already present, so it will not be added to my set. Going ahead, if I try to add a 4, 4 is not present, so this 4 will be successfully added to your set. So this is how the concept of a set works. But why the name hash? In computer programming, this entire logic is implemented using hashing, and hence the name HashSet appears. So this is the basic property of a HashSet. A HashSet is some kind of a space where you can add elements, but it will never allow you to add any duplicate elements. So this defines what is a HashSet. Now, what all kind of operations can you perform on it? Do you remember how I called HashSet a data structure? So when it comes to data structures, like you have arrays, or you have linked lists, or you have stacks, what are the primary operations that you expect? If I'm giving you a data structure, you would expect that, okay, I should be able to insert an element, right? So you know how you insert elements in a linked list, in stacks, and in queues, right? So similarly, in a HashSet also, you should be able to insert an element. Going forward, if you have added an element to any data structure, you should be also able to remove it, correct? So the second property that we want is deleting an element. And then what is the third important property that you want? You should be able to search for any element that I have already added in my data structure, right? So as you know, we can do all of these things in a stack, in a queue, in an array, or in a linked list. Similarly, we can perform all the same three operations on a HashSet as well. So now you may ask, what is the advantage of getting a HashSet data structure? I can already do all of these operations in a linked list as well, right? Or in arrays, correct? But the advantage over here is that a HashSet will always work in an order of one time complexity. That makes it very fast. To give you an idea, let us compare all the three operations on different kinds of data structures. So starting off with a HashSet, if you have to insert an element, you can do that in order of one time, right? When it comes to an array, you know that, okay, my array is of the size 10 and I can insert an element at any position. So you can do that in order of 1 time here as well. But what happens when it comes to a linked list? In a linked list, you only have access to the head pointer, right? So to add a new element, you have to traverse your entire list and then you're adding an element. So in linked list, you can insert an element in order of n time, right? So you can easily see that, okay, a hash fit is advantageous. Going forward, let us look at deleting an element. So when it comes to hash fit, you can do that in order of 1. When it comes to an array, you will be able to do it in order of 1 as well because you know the position. And when it comes to linked list, you will again have to traverse the entire linked list trying to just find the element. So once again, the time complexity would be order of n. Let us look at the third operation now, searching an element. To search elements in a hash fit, that also happens in order of 1. You just say, okay, is an element present, and it will tell you yes or no. But how do you search for an element in an array? You have to scan the entire array, correct? And that means order of n. And similar is the case with linked list. You have to scan your entire list just to determine if an element is present or not. So once again, your time complexity will be order of n. Now compare all of these time complexities. Which one is the best? A hash set gives you a order of 1 time complexity for any operation. And that is what makes it so fast. So whenever you are writing code that has to be fast, you have to use a hash set. So how do you actually perform all of these operations? Let us do a quick demo about it. To start off with this example, what I'm going to do is I will create a basic hash set that will contain integers and I will call it my hash set. For this particular example, I am using the Java programming language, but you can use almost any programming language and their standard libraries have an implementation of the hash fit, whether it be Python, whether it be JavaScript or C++ even. All of them have it. So now let us say I have to add some numbers to this. To add some integers, what I'm just going to do is I will do my hashfit.add. And then let us say I will add 4. And now I will add one other number and that is called, let's say 8. And similarly, I will add 2 more integers to it. Now let us try printing this hash set and see what I have got. So you see, when I print this hash set, I get all my elements 16, 4, 8 and 15, right? An important thing to notice over here is that this order will not remain the same. You can see that I added numbers like 4, 8, 15 and then 16, but this order in the hash set could be different. It depends upon how your programming language is doing the internal hashing. Now, let us say you want to check if a number is present in the hash set. So let us say I want to check if 4 is present. What I'm just going to do is I will do if my hash set dot contains. Let us run this code now to see what I get as output. So as soon as I run this code, I will once again get my hash set printed. And then since 4 is present, I will be outputting present, right? Now let us check for an integer that is not present in this hash set. Try running this now. And as you would expect, you would get a not present as your output because 100 is not present in this hash set, right? So this is how you can add elements and search for elements. How about deleting elements? That is also very simple. What you just do, my hashfit.remove. And then you specify which integer do you want to remove. Let us say I want to remove 8. Okay, now let us just check if this actually got removed. Running this code now. So you see, in my final output, I get my hash set as 16, 4 and 15. You see that the element 8 has been removed from the hash set. So an important thing to notice over here is that all of these operations happen in an order of 1 time complexity. So when I'm adding elements, that is order of 1. When I am checking if an element is present, that is again order of 1. And even when I'm removing elements, that is once again order of 1. Now that you have seen how a hash set is actually working, there is just one last concept that you must know about. For example, if you're given an array and I ask you, okay, go through every element in the array. What you will do? You will just run a for loop from starting to beginning and you can iterate through the entire loop, right? So how do you iterate through all the elements in a hash set? That is where the concept of an iterator comes in. An iterator will just try to go over every element in your hash set. So how does this actually work? So first of all, I am creating a hash set, right? Now this hash set gets created in your memory. So this is my hash set, that is A. And then what I do next is I will try to add three elements. I will add 4, 8 and 15. So these elements will get added in my hash set. Now notice that this hash set will not store any of these elements linearly. In an array, you have elements linear 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, in a linked list, you have 1 and then a next, 2 and then a next, right? But in a hash set, there is no ordering. It could be possible that you added elements 4, then 8, then 15. But in your memory, first 4 was stored, then 15 got stored, and then 8 got stored. So there is no sequential pattern. And if you have to go over every element in your hash set, you use an iterator. So how do we create an iterator? To create an iterator, we do something like a.iterator. What will this do? This will create an object iter that will lie inside your hash set. And currently it will just point to null. And now when you try to do a iter.next, this will randomly point to any element in your hash set. So let us say this points to 4, so you will get 4 on your screen. If you do a iter.next, it might point to 15 and then you will get a 15 on screen. And then if you do a next again, it might point to 8. So you will get a 8 on screen. So this is how a iterator works. Notice that it is not necessary that this will be the final sequence. You could also get elements like 8 and then 4 and then 15. Because there is no certain order in which the elements are getting inserted in your hash set. So with this, now you know all sorts of basic operations that you can perform on a hash set. You can add elements, you can remove elements, and you can even search elements. I hope I was able to give you some understanding about how the hash set data structure actually works. As per my final thoughts, take a moment and think which are the scenarios or use cases where you can apply this data structure. I'm pretty sure you must have encountered a lot of problems where you're given an array and okay, let us say this array has duplicates, but you only want to work with the unique characters. What do you do then? You can see how this HashSet data structure will be very, very helpful. Or there could be scenarios where you have to constantly add an element, delete an element, and then look up an element from a certain pool, right? So in all those scenarios, a hash set is very, very helpful. And what more, the hash set does not necessarily only work on integers. You can use this hash set even with strings, floats, double values, you name it. So now whenever you approach a new problem that is dealing with duplicates, try to think about a hash set. Maybe you can find a faster solution. What other problems did you see where you can apply this hash set data structure? What solutions did you come up with? Did you face any problems while going through this video? Tell me everything in the comment section below and I would love to discuss all of them with you. As a reminder, if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This motivates me to make more and more such videos where I can simplify programming concepts with you. In my future videos, I will be discussing more upon hashing and the other data structures around it. Until then, see ya!